That we're going to go over is a series of joint locks on the ground, and basically what this is doing a lot of different things. It's teaching you the locks, of course, by itself, but it's also teaching you, as you'll see, to feel instead of trying to muscular force a lock on. You basically take what the attacker gives you and go with it. So basically what it is a flow of locks. We start from one position, what we call the quarter position, rear quarter position, and we'll work through that. Then we're going to go into the side top hold, and we're going to work through that up to one reverse of that. But there's 16 base locks plus variations, so you have 20 some locks in this series. We'll go over them several times, explain to you as much as possible as what we can with them. We'll do them both ways. You're not going to see some things as good one way as the other, so just when I do it this way, make sure that we will do it again the other way. Okay, this being the rear quarter position. How you get here, several different ways. Throw you down, a forward leg reap from the rear, lots of different things. You can find yourself in this position more than you can imagine. But you're like this, and he's in a bear hug position. Okay, now this is the first thing that you're learning. This is basically a technique in itself, but we're not counting this. This is your escape from this position. You cannot wait very long for this because basically he's going to be trying to take your base out from under you by grabbing one of your arms, trying to take you down, choking you. Once he gets you down, he's not planning on just sitting there like this, okay? So as soon as you get there, as soon as you have a chance, you need to go get out of it as soon as possible. So what we're doing is our right hand's grabbing the wrist, and we shoot well forward. He loses his balance, and we're yanking the arm off, okay? And then we're slowly turning to our back. You want to put your left leg between his legs, okay? And here we are, we're at our first lock. This is called the shoulder lock. The things that you want to look for this, your outside arm should be straight. The lock should not look like this, okay? It should be straight up in the air. That is your number one lock. This is called the shoulder lock. Remember it. The number two lock, basically all you do is you pull the arm down and you bend it and you pull it towards the back. This is called the number one chicken wing lock. Okay? So let's go over through them two again. We got the shoulder, number one. We got the chicken wing, number two. How you're getting pressure is you're squeezing this arm down as you push the arm to the back. Okay? Just like this. Okay, now when you roll over, when you have your uke to roll over, you need to have him put his arm well high or down by his side for his own safety. Roll over. Now we are solar plex to solar plex. That's what we want. Okay, now in training, you can get up on this knee and get some of your weight off your partner so you don't have to smother him throughout the training drill. Okay? So now we're into our third lock as you roll over. This is the straight arm bar, basically, is all it is. Making sure that it's straight with the shoulder line or above. And all you're doing is this action to get pain and for the slap out. Now here we come, our first variation. Basically, you're in this position, you roll back, you can knee to the face, wrap this leg around the head, you're shooting the leg down like this, at the same time putting the pressure on the arm. That's your first variation. Okay? So that's number three, straight arm bar variation. Now we go to the fourth lock, which is chicken wing number two. You slide the hand all the way down to where his hand touches his waist. Okay, your elbow will be up on top of his ribs. Then you will slide it off and down on the ground and lean back, and the arm will go behind the back. This is your chicken wing number two. You got knees to the face, any type of thing that you need to do right there. That's your chicken wing number two. Okay, chicken wing number two variation. You put the arm to where it's perpendicular with the body. You still have a hold of your wrist, making sure that you have a good tight grip on your wrist at all times. You do the same thing. You lean back, you knee to the face, wrap the knee around. This time you're twisting the wrist and pushing it in that direction for a lock as you lean back. Okay, that's your variation. So we went through four locks and two variations now. Okay, this is where he was last. Now what we're going to do is slide the arm all the way down to the side and grab the elbow. Okay, keeping the body, I'm just going to keep my body weight off him as much as I can. Okay, you have a hold of the elbow. You slide this arm forward and you have the wrist lock. Basically your body, your neck and chest is doing the lock. But as you notice, the arm is not straight up. It's in an angle in this fashion. The fingers are pointing towards his toes. You lean down. This is number 5 lock, the wrist lock, or gooseneck wrist lock. Then we go and we put the hand down to the ground and you grab the wrist with your left hand. Okay? The right hand goes up underneath. You grab your arm, making sure that it's straight with his elbow, making sure that his fist is higher than his shoulder. For pain, you go this way, tearing the shoulder out. That is your number 6 lock. Okay, now we get into number 7. Pull it in, we grab with the opposite wrist. This is what we did. Pull, from here, opposite wrist. Okay? We come up in here, we grab into the armpit with his hand. This is called the pillow arm lock. Okay? Right here. Variation, you reach down and you grab your own hand on top of your hand. This is basically if he pulls it in tight and you do the same thing, pulling back. Pillow arm lock variation. The first one, here. Variation here. Okay? That's your pillow arm lock. This is number 7. Okay? Now we go to number 8. Basically, it's just a what if. You got him in this position. While you're trying to get it, he gets his arm up in here, tries to get in your face. You just hit it across your body like this. Rest your chin down on it, get into the arm body. And now we're in a V1 cross smother choke. We're smothering him with his own arm, laying back, pulling the arm down for the pain. Now we're pulling down on this arm and out as we're doing this. So it's a two-way action, pulling out and down as we pull back on the head. Okay, that is our number 8 lock. Okay, now we go to number 9. Basically, here's where we switch positions. This arm goes here, this hand goes here, and you switch the legs to here. Now we're in a side top hold. You'll see this lock better when we do it the other way. Okay, so we're in the side top hold. That's the number 9 lock. We're teaching you the side top hold. I'll go over it better when we go to the other side. Now, when we get to our next lock, the number 10 lock, we're going to do a choke. Basically, the hands right here, you're going to do the scissor or guillotine choke here. Okay? Now we're sliding the leg up. Like I said, these things I'll go over better when we have the better angle. Okay, but this is the scissor or guillotine choke, which is the number 10 lock. Okay? Then the next lock is basically the scissor arm lock. You put an arm across the leg, you put this leg on top, bend well forward and down, scissor the arm for pain. Okay, that's your number 11 lock. Then we go to another arm lock. We put this leg on top, this leg drops over, we get well forward and lock. This is the figure 4 straight arm lock. Okay, now we got the arm, it goes back to here, we take the arm back to here and here. Now we got what we call the telephone arm lock. Okay, basically you want to push it out this way, raise the head back and out for your telephone arm lock. Now we got another variation. You switch hands on the wrist. This hand goes into the armpit. This is also considered a telephone arm lock because it's close to the head. You reach it out, push, and out. There's your telephone arm lock. Now we switch right into what we call the V1 cross. Basically, you put that arm down in there, you grab onto your hand, and lean backwards in an angle this way for pain. And then we have a V1 arm lock, V1 cross arm lock variation. This leg slides up, hooks, and scissors the leg. That way we can stretch the arm out at the same time as we're doing the lock. Okay? The next thing that we're going to go, when you have them in this lock, now we're going to get into the double arm locks. So the next one, basically, he reaches up and tries to grab with his palm. You're going to grab his fingers, twist his wrist, put it down across right below his nose, and lean your body into it. Very painful. It's a pressure point that we're getting into right there. We're here. Before we get the V1 cross, he's trying to get out of it. So we just grab the hand, take it across the face, bury our body weight into it. Okay, the next one, he basically is taking his fist now. So he takes his fist, we take it down across the face, we grab the head, and now we're adding a V1 cross pillow combination. Got this cross here, you lean back, there's your pain. Very painful lock. Okay, and the last one, he comes up, cross with the fist again, just grab the arm. Now remember, you still have this lock, you slide this leg up here, this arm comes underneath here. Now we're going to get into the double V1 cross arm bar. Okay? Another double lock. Probably the most painful one of the bunch, because you have pain here, here, and the neck. You have it 3 different places instead of 2 as the norm. Okay, and the last thing that we're going to go over, we're here, we go back, and Josh will do the very first reversal of the side top hold. That is your 16 techniques plus variations. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to do this one more time. We're going to do it the other way. Now some of these things you won't see as well as the others, but you'll see the ones that you missed the first time. Okay, we're in this position. Okay, grabbing the wrist. You should see this better. Well forward and yanking it down. Now you already have the lock. You already have the shoulder lock right here. Okay, you turn and drops. Left leg, I should be right next to him. There shouldn't be too much air between us. Okay, there's our shoulder lock. Remember the straight arm. Okay, there's our chicken wing. Number 1 chicken wing. Make sure you have a good tight grip on your wrist. Okay? Then making sure your uke at this time has his arm well high like this or down to his side so don't get his shoulder tore out of place as you roll him over. Okay? Let's turn around this way a little bit. Okay. Gets you a little there. Okay. Now we're in the straight arm bar. Okay? Straight arm bar variation. Okay? Then we go to the chicken wing. Hand all the way down to the side. Elbow on top, you slide down, put the arm behind the back for pain. Okay? Variation, arm perpendicular to the ground. You look back, knee to the face, wrap the leg around, push out. Okay? That's your first 4 techniques. Then you go to 5. You take the hand down to your side, or to his side, hand on the elbow. You take back, you go to the wrist lock. Okay? Then you take it down. You grab the wrist. Right hand goes underneath. Grab your left arm. You lean back this way. V1 arm lock. You switch hands on the wrist. Okay? Hand goes around the head, into the armpit. Lean back. The pillow arm lock. Variation. Hands in closer. Put your left hand on top of your right hand. Your pillow. Then hand comes across. Slap it across. Go into the armpit. V1 cross smother. Okay, now we get into the side top hold. So we're going this way. This is number 9. Just remember we got a side top hold. Side top hold. Now you should be up in, well into his, close to his armpits. You should be down here, right up in here, close to the armpit. Your hands around. You want your head, side of a head, down on top of his head. This arm is tucked in very tightly. This foot well forward, that foot back, and your knee down on the ground. That is a good side top hold. Okay, just like this. This is how you want. This is how you will engage all your techniques from this position. Okay, now we've gotten to this position. Now we go to the first one, which is the scissor or guillotine choke. Okay, laying forward on him. Now watching this, a slight move of this leg, just like this. That's holding that arm in just a little bit, as well as this. Okay? My small part of my wrist is what's doing the choke. That is your first technique, or your number 10 technique. Number 11, taking this arm down here like this. As you can see, my chest and fist is on top of the shoulder, but if you don't do that, see how the shoulder's moving up? There's a lot of play there. You want to try to get that play out. And not only that, holding our head down like this, it's harder for him to reach up, grab something. If he does punch you, all he's going to be doing is punching the back of the head. You'll be breaking his arm, so I think you come out better still. Okay? So you're here. This leg just slides up, and the top of the knee goes down on top of it, and you just press down on the arm for a scissor-like action, and this leg's doing this slightly. That's why it's called the scissor arm bar. Okay? The next arm bar, this foot comes up, this foot wraps on top just like this, and this one goes over the top of it here, same thing. Sliding down, okay? The figure 4 arm bar comes up here, comes over here. This leg straightens at the same time, pressing down. Okay, figure 4 arm bar. Okay, we're back in the side top hold. Now we go to the telephone arm lock. Now I'm going to move my leg. It shouldn't be like that, so you have a better view of this. Okay, I have a hold of his wrist with my right hand. My left hand goes under and I grab my wrist in this fashion. Now I have the telephone lock applied. Now basically the positioning that I want is I want to drive this arm back this way, as you can see, for pain. I'm just doing this action here, okay? So now we'll get back to the side top hold. There's our pain, telephone arm lock. Okay, variation. I have a hold of his wrist with my right hand. I switch and grab with my left. I put my arm on the back of his tricep or armpit. It's according to how long my arms is and how long his is or how big they are. I stretch it out and lean back. That's my variation. Okay, now as I got this leg will slide forward just like this. And I'll just put that arm in there and hit the elbow and knock it in there, setting in the V1 cross arm bar. You gotta have that good and deep. You got the head and lean backwards in this fashion, very painful hold. Then the variation. This leg slides up, comes over, and hooks. So I can stretch the arm out at the same time I'm pulling back, very painful. Okay? Now, from here, we get into our double arm lock stuff. We just let this leg go back down. He comes up with the palm of his hand. Okay? You grab the fingertips, you twist, down right below the nose, bury your body weight on him. Basically what you're doing is teaching him not to do that to you anymore. He wants to grab you, make him pay the price. Okay? The next one, you grab with the fist. You go here, you take it down across his head. Now you noticed how I'm using my body weight too, not just arm strength, but I'm using my body weight too as I get it down here and get it clamped in. Okay? Don't just use arm strength. Use as much as your body. Make him do most of the work when you're doing this kind of stuff. Okay? And you lean back here for the lock. Okay? You can always add the variation of the V1 cross with this too. It makes it even that much better. Okay, and the last one you actually want to do that. Okay, so we go to the last one. You grab him with the fist again. Okay, you take it across. Basically, you still got it. You can let go. You take it, you pin this arm down with the help of this, and you slide underneath the arm and grab. So I have underneath the arm. Okay, this hand goes underneath. I slide up, I hook, and twist. Okay, slide around a little bit if you can. I have this arm like this. It's a double V1 cross arm bar. Okay? I'm pulling out on this, pushing down on that, pulling forward on the head for a lot of pain. 3 different places. Okay? And the last thing that we're going to go over is the very first basic reversal of the side top hold. Josh will be demonstrating this again. Okay, we get back into the side top hold. This is the number 16 technique. Now do it very slowly. As you can see, what he's doing, he's wanting to get up as close to me as possible. With that, then he's going to turn over and bridge his way out. And then come up into the side top hold himself to begin. Okay? Okay. Now once you have gained proficiency in the chokes and this series of locks, which is quite a few if you count the variations, you need to try to start what we call submission wrestling. And basically that's all it is. You stand up, there's no kicking, no punching. You try to wrestle each other ground to ground and try to apply these locks. It's very easy to do, it's very fun to do. You don't have to do it, but it's just something I'd like for you to try. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. But it's very fun and you learn a lot from it. Using the chokes, using all the arm locks that we have done in this series. Okay? Okay, the next section of the video, what we're going to cover is a few more things, a few more techniques, and a couple more reverses for the side top hold. We're going to go over some pressure points, pinches, things like that, biting, and 2 reverses. Go down. Okay. Basically, let's turn this way. Getting back into your side top hold. Now we went through the 16 techniques plus the first basic reversal before. Now we're going to just give you a few more things to add with this, along with the side top hold drill that we will do. But things like this, if you've got a hold of this arm, maybe you're trying to work on this arm or whatever, and this guy tries to reach back with this hand, go ahead and any way, whether whether he grabs your hair, tries to pull you back, whatever, all you have to do, I call this the Miss Piggy technique, pushing up underneath the nose. You got a pressure point right below the ear. But all these things, what they're going to do if you grind hard enough, is going to make him let go. And what you're kind of doing is you're kind of training your attacker not to do them things anymore. He's just going to know every time he tries to do something, he's going to feel pain. Now, in his position, switch it around. One of the things that he could do to try to get away from this is, of course, is biting. That's always a possibility any chance you have in a street fight. If you have to bite, you have to bite to get him off. That's what you got to do. Okay, now we're going to switch positions, and I'm going to show you 2 more reverses for this technique. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, now what you're wanting to do from this position to get out of this position here is, if this guy keeps his leg like it is, it'll be a little hard. So you're going to have to position yourself. So what you want to do is you want to try to get your elbow on this side of the leg. Raise your arm for a second. As you can see, I've dropped my elbow right down into here. If I can get my elbow down in there, move your leg down a little bit so you can see. So I have to drop it down in there. It was up here. Get back in a good side top hold position. I have to drop it in here like this. Okay? Then come up on top of the person. You just wiggle out. Okay? You have a lot of things that you can follow up with. That's not what we're going to be doing. Second black will cover more detail as far as arm locks and stuff like that, and chokes that you can do after you learn the reverses. You got 16 locks to work with and 10 chokes to work with as of right now. Let's do that one more time. Let's get around this way a little farther. Get a good side top hold. Okay, you want to slide that elbow down. That makes his lose his balance a little forward. Now you can push on the back. If he has hair, you can pull forward, or you can push down on the neck towards the floor, so you can come up on top of your attacker. Okay, last time. You got to get that elbow there. You can get that elbow down there, you've pretty much got it. Just squeeze out. Okay, the last one that we're going to do, get a side top hold, is reach around. You're going to push here with your hands, and you're going to hook this leg. Reach around and hook. If he brings his leg up, you go to reversal number 1, the 17th technique that we showed you earlier. But you hook this leg, grab your hand, and push him over. Okay? Like I said, you got arm locks and chokes that you can go in from this position, keeping the leg tied up. Okay. Scoot around a little further. Okay, get a good side top hold. Okay. Up, hook, squeeze, use your both arms. Not one. The big mistake that when I teach this, and when we do combat wrestling, the biggest mistake my students do is they try to do it with one arm. You want to use both arms. Okay? Again. It's here, 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 here. Stretch them out. You have an arm lock with torso on already. Okay, one last time. You can go here first, or you can try to go here first. All these go in together. Okay? So it's here, here, here. Okay, let's get up. Okay, that's 2 more reverses for you from this position. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little side top hold drill. This is very good. I want to explain it to you. This also works both ways. It's working for escape for you, and it's working escape for your partner, all at the same time, and you're switching back and forth. Okay? Let's go ahead and go through this a few times. Okay, slowly. And what we're doing here is he's trying to get the side top hold. I want you to come down low like you would. You want to see how I'm blocking it as he's trying to get the arm around the head. I'm putting my arms in the middle, and you've got to bridge out, and he's going to roll out so he don't get an arm lock put on him. Then I go in, he rolls out, I'm rolling out. You got to keep your hands down low here. Okay, now this time I'm going to ask him, just for a second, not to roll out, and I'm going to show you why he is rolling out, to get away from this, okay? Okay, go ahead and go through yours first. Okay, now don't roll out. If you do this technique and the guy doesn't roll out, you have an arm bar, straight arm bar, or you have a bent arm bar. He is trying to avoid them two locks right there. Okay, now we're just going to go through this a couple more seconds. Bring it down. And just watch very carefully. The outside hand grabs the wrist, the other one around the bicep area. He needs to bridge out and roll. I have to bridge out and roll. My hand has to be close to my face. Okay? Thank you very much. The next section of video, guard. I'm going to be in the guard, and we're going to give you two basic, easy ways to escape the guard. We're not going to do any techniques. It's just basically escaping, how to escape from that position. Okay? We'll probably do this in more than one angle so that you get a good wide view. This being Mike in the guard. Josh is in the guard right now. Okay? Now basically we're just going to move around a little bit and try to work these things in separately a little bit so you can see how they would work. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, the first one, you want to get these legs down, scoop the feet and pull him out. Grabbing the head and the arm and rolling over on top. Then you have the top straddle position and the honeymoon position at the same time. Several different things you can do from here between punching, headbutting, elbowing, and arm locks. Okay? Now he's going to want to try to keep his hands up here to keep me from doing this. That would allow me to put arm locks on him. Anything that I want to do. But that's not the point of it. We're just escaping the guard right now. That is one. We'll do it again. So basically wrap around. You want to get your feet in low, behind, scoop, and out. You want to grab this arm. Pull it in and roll him over. Okay? And you'll be on top. Okay? Let's spin around this way. Right here. Okay? You want to get the feet in, pull him out. You're taking his base out from under him. You can roll either way, but you want to try to roll the way you have the arm. Okay? You have this arm controlled, that's the way you want to roll. Okay? If I'm like this, I would want to roll this way. But that's basically what you're doing. You're hooking, pulling it out. Okay? That's number one. Number two. I call this the hip kick technique. Basically, we're down here, we'll wrestle around a little bit. I want to get this foot out, this one here, or this one will go this way. You kick this hip out and roll over. You took that base out and you just roll right into that position, and we're in our top straddle position. Okay, what we're doing, get that foot up there, kick it out and turn. Okay? Get in the top straddle position. But you got to have him nice and tight to you when you do this. If he's up here at a high base and you do this, he might catch himself and it'd be harder to do. So you got to get him when he's down close to you, kick that hip out and turn. And you get in the top straddle position. Last time. I go this way. In the top straddle position. One more. Okay, wrestle around some. Okay. Section we're going to deal with the top straddle or top mount position. and we're going to give you a couple of ways to escape from that. Okay? The top straddle position is probably the most prone position for me for a lot of reasons. I cannot move nowhere near as much as the attacker here can. I can't move back at all. I can only move a little bit one side or the other, so I'm pretty screwed as far as my movement is concerned and his movement. Now, as far as punching him in the face, all he has to do is lean back, and as you can see, I couldn't punch him. I could go to the stomach now. That's what a lot of people misses. I could go to the groin with elbows. I could punch to the stomach. Things like that. A lot of people seem to forget about that right there. Okay, now when you get in a top straddle position, you have to react instantaneous. You cannot wait for him to get settled on top of you. It makes it a lot harder for you. Okay, number one thing that you want to try to do, if any way possible, as soon as he gets on top of you, you need to react. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're just going to have him start to throw a punch or something like this. He just got on, he's just going to start to throw a punch. You know, I have to come in here and grab, I'm going to poke to the eye, bridge and throw off. Okay, claw on the eyes. Okay, that's doing the same thing. If I come in and I block, I can elbow the thigh. Anywhere on the thigh, that's what I'm doing. Basically, to make this leg go limp just for a second. Then claw the eyes, then pull and bridge. Because this body weight's coming down to try to punch me. Alright, that's one. Basically, you can use a lot of things to pull. You can grab the back of the head, you can grab hair, you can grab the ear to pull this side. But you got to make sure that it's a pull and a push of some sort. Let's turn around this way a little bit. You look at it a little closer, and when he throws a punch, I'm going to the side as much as I can. I'm blocking out my center. I throw the elbow to the thigh. When I grab, I want to grab it. I grab the skin right here as I turn to take them off. I'm grabbing the love handles right here, just gripping them there. Okay. You can grab the trapezius muscles. It's a nice little grab, skin here, skin there. Nice pain points. Okay, when you're in a street fight, it gets pretty mean. Now, we're going to number two. Basically, this is for you want to get him down to your level to try to get the escape on this one. So basically, as soon as he gets on, you're going to try to get him right here. Okay, this where he can't punch you with any authority, and you have a few things that you can do. He has a few things he can do, but it makes it a little easier for you. Basically what you need to do is you need to squeeze this arm in to where it's high using both hands and bridge him over into this position because he has nothing to stop him on that side. Okay, so we get in this position, I need to squeeze his bridge over and escape. Okay, get him down, squeeze that arm in as tight as I can to his head as I roll him over. Practice your bridges, comes in very handy in your grappling. Okay? Another thing that I can do, I can grab one hand and pinch right here at the same time going in that direction. He will try to reach back with his other hand. All that's going to do is throw his body weight in the direction that I'm going in the first place. Go this way, pinch right here. He's going to try to reach back to stop me from doing that, see? That throws the body weight over in that direction. Okay, that's just a couple of easy, basic things to do, but do not freak out when you're in a top straddle position. Just work it, and a lot of pressure points, a lot of biting, a lot of things can go on in there, but the bridge is the big thing that you need to learn for the top straddle position. That I want to, all these joint locks and chokes hurt and they will break bones, so you need to apply these things real slow. The chokes real slow. Don't worry so much about winning and losing because you're training with a friend, you're not training with the enemy, so you don't be walking around with a school full of broken arms, shoulders, and whatnot, and people passed out on the floor puking. Now what this is for is basically it gets you used to being on the ground. If you do go to the ground, if you can get away from going to the ground, that's fine, but if you do go, you'll be a little more at ease with it. You'll be more familiar to it. Okay? So what me and Josh is going to do, and another thing, I'm wearing this, Josh is going to wear the gi, and you can do it either way. Okay? If you get your shorts on, I like wearing wrestling shoes because they have weak ankles, but you can wrestle with the gis on. That gives you a few other opportunities, or you can wrestle in just shorts and a t-shirt. That gives you a few opportunities as well. So you practice this both ways to make yourself comfortable. This makes me feel like more I'm in the street than the gi does. So we're doing it this way for that reason. You can mix them up any way you want. Okay? Basically, as we're wrestling, I'm going to try to talk to you as much as I can, if Josh will keep his hand away from my mouth, but I'm going to try to talk to you and explain to you what we're doing as we're doing it. Okay? Okay, basically what we're doing right now is we're in a tie-up position, and you want to try to work into a throws, and you go down to the ground and you want to try to work your way into something. Don't try to force anything. I'm going to move around here a little bit. Now what he's doing, he's got his hands clasped together, he's trying to hook my legs so I can't put any arm locks on him. Now I need to lean my body weight into him and well forward so he can't reverse me. Then you just slowly work your way out of things. Just take your time. Use as much body weight and leverage as you can. Now we got him in what we call the telephone arm lock, if you remember this lock. And you just slowly squeeze so your attacker slaps out. Okay, we'll go a couple more rounds just to give you a little more variety. Now we're down sort of in the quarter position. I'm on top. He's trying to put an arm bar on. Like I said, don't try to force it. Now we're going to work the V1 arm lock. Okay, we'll go one more time. We're working the choke in, we're not rushing. Get the next stock hold. Choke didn't work, I go to the next available thing. Thank you very much.